Earthlings, welcome to another video for magicians mainly. So today we're going to talk about residencies with Conor. Let's just get into the interview now. Okay, welcome back. So this is Conor. He used to be the manager at a restaurant I residencied at. Is that accurate? Is that a word? It's fine, you guys understand what I'm saying. So basically, this is a second interview because we did the first one with Josh. If you didn't see it, I'll link it in the description so you can have a look. But basically, I have a few questions for Conor that he doesn't know about, and then I'm gonna let him just chat with you about general residency stuff. Before we do this, how long have you worked in the industry?
Well, I had worked in the industry for 11 years, as a manager for about probably 8 of those. Yeah,
that's pretty, so this is just for you, so you know, I didn't just go get a guy that has been a waiter for a year, you know? So he definitely knows what he's talking about, so let's hope he'll give you some valuable information. If he doesn't, don't blame me, okay? Just blame Conor. Yeah. So, first question, why a venue should have a magician? So why do you think, like, because a lot of magicians go, well, I don't want to, you know, it's a restaurant, people have food, I don't want to go in and whatever, and I disagree, obviously. But what, from a perspective of you, and especially this venue, obviously you don't know where we are, but it's basically so big that half of it is a bar, pub, and the other half is a restaurant, so you have kind of 2 in 1, right? So what's the advantages from your point of view? Like, not the magician getting gigs and whatever. For you as a manager, what can a magician bring to the table?
Quite a few things, really. Like Sylar said, this place where I was the manager of previously is split level. So in the bar area, and because it's quite a quiet town as well, the same kind of thing tends to happen every day. The same people come in. So for those people, it's a nice break from sort of the usual monotony, and it's also a really good way to get different people coming in. If you advertise, say, I used to have a Sylar come around on a Thursday night, which, you know, was quite quiet at times. So if I advertised that Sylar would be dropping round, I'd get more people than just the usual few regulars in. And it was something exciting that not every other place in the town was doing.
Yeah, because I remember we used to put it on like the local Facebook group basically, and people would be like, oh, do you have a magician in tonight? Just because they never, you know, even though I've been here for 3 years and I've constantly been performing, there's constant people going, oh, we didn't know there's a magician in town. Like, I literally post everywhere and I am everywhere, but you know, you can never reach everybody. So.
Equally, I was a little bit tentative to let him come down into the restaurant at first, because as he said just now, I was a bit like, oh, people want to be enjoying their meals and stuff, but actually we tried it, didn't we, on a few quieter nights, and we always got the waiters to say, would you like our magician to come over? And they pretty much all said yes, didn't they? And it's actually a really nice thing for them to do while they're waiting for their food. And it's great for us, because if we're having a slow food service night, they're distracted.
I can help, and especially now, I mean, I will put some reactions in future videos, but the residencies I'm doing now during pandemic are amazing, because people haven't seen any live magic in months, or live anything, you know? They haven't been to a football match, to a concert, to a stand-up show, nothing, you know? So I feel now more than ever you should go and do this. Any more you got to say on that, or should I jump into the next one?
I'll probably think of loads more while you're saying the next thing, but let's jump into
That's cool, that's why we have the end section, just so you can rant on stuff, okay? How should a magician approach a venue?
Interesting one, I suppose, because if you're anything like I was before I met Sylar, you hear magician and you think of creepy guy in a top hat with rabbits. So I think the way that I met Sylar was that I think you just happened to be having a drink in here, or
I think I was just performing to
I think you were like unofficially performing in here or something. And anyway, he ended up talking to me and was like, oh, I'm a magician. I think I was even off duty at the time. I think I was performing to you because you were a customer, basically. So I didn't realise I was in the manager. And he just completely blew my mind. I was like a little sort of fangirl by the end of the evening, I think, wasn't I? But yeah, so I think definitely just approach them informally, pop in there, say, oh, you know, can I show you something? Show them the trick. I'm not supposed to say trick. And ensnare them that way, and then bring up the fact that you could possibly do a residency. But don't go in saying, I want a residency, I think you've got to wow them first.
Third and last, technically, question. When do you think is the best time to approach a venue? Like, not hour, like more like... Because I'm thinking Christmas, for example, is probably not best because you're already busy and you don't need me distracting customers, right? So when would you think is the ideal sort of time of the year or times of the year when you would be able to think of that? Maybe the venues have a bit more budget, or maybe they're a bit dead, or both. I don't know.
I mean, I've always found in places where I've worked that, as you rightly said, you know, Christmas is probably going to be a bit too much. It depends what kind of place they are as well. You know, some places with big gardens will get incredibly busy over the summer. So I'd probably say, if you were looking for a quieter time, February is probably the quietest time for most restaurants, because the Christmas has died down, then that sort of after Christmas January weirdness has gone away, and everyone's a bit fed up in February as well. So they might be looking for something to brighten up their days.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe easier to get venues to pay for that on dead months, because if they get the value, if they get the value of, well, we're getting loads of people, they're not paying a lot, right?
No,
because I mean, you probably know this from older videos, but this particular Residencies I wouldn't get paid for because it was like a massive franchise and stuff. Initially, when I came in, they were like, "Oh, come back in 3 months so we can talk to management and whatever." And I was like, "No," because I did 2 free nights and I already got 2 gigs out of it, and I was like, "There's no way I'm not coming here every weekend." So I made a deal with them where I just came in whenever I wanted, so I had full control. They didn't pay me. But let's say you did have control of budget, right? What would you pay me for 2 hours, let's say every 2 weeks? I don't know. Like, I genuinely didn't tell him anything about it. I want to see what he thinks versus Josh, because I'm going to ask all of them how much they would be willing to pay, just so you guys get an idea.
Watch for the cut here where he cuts out my original answer. I really don't know, to be honest. It would depend.
I don't know, let's say, because obviously you know the intricacies of this, right? The amount of money they make, whatever, right? So what would you say for you to put, so I can come twice a month, what would be sort of nothing, you know what I mean? Because even if I don't bring people in, it's still an entertainment, so you're still giving your customers something, right?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, especially if it's part of a chain type thing where...
Let's say it's not chain, that's what I mean. Let's say you own this, it's yours, you're the owner. So you have control about the money. So then, you know, because then it's easier to convince you, because you're the guy. You know? That's what I mean more, because most venues that I kind of want to go to are the ones that are owned by one person, so I can just talk to them directly and whatever. So yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, I think if it was me personally, I would like to, I think, see it in action, not necessarily him just showing it to me, but see him working like one night here. So I might, you know, cajole him into doing one night for free.
I always tell these guys to do one free night to see how it is, because you know, maybe you don't like it here, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't like the customers, it doesn't fit. So after the free night, what would you say for 2 hours?
I mean, maybe sort of 100 quid.
Yeah, no, like I'm just asking just so they can get an idea of what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, restaurant people are sort of notoriously stingy, probably. So they're going to try and wangle you down as low as they can go. So I'd probably start by saying 50 quid, and he'd say 100. You know, but I'd probably think that would be reasonable.
See, that's another little gold nugget that he probably didn't realize, or you realized. It's because you're magicians and you're not business people. When you go and you talk to a manager or an owner, that's what they are really. They're business people, right? So they're gonna, if they start at 50, don't say yes, because there is room for negotiation. That's how their life works. So you gotta realize that you can sort of talk to them and get a bit more money. But yeah, I think especially now, like £100 for 2 hours, especially here, because I literally live next door, you know what I mean? So it's easy for me. If you get 10 of these a month, that's pretty decent, and you can get gigs out of it. So you know, But again, considering like I did it for no money and I got loads of gigs out of it, so if they paid me £100 as well, that'd be like extra bonus. So yeah.
I mean, realistically, there's obviously different types of places. There's places that think, no, I'm just going to go off how good we are and and they might not be willing to pay very much. But if you were to go to somewhere that, for instance, has a lot of live music, they're probably paying them, you know, £500 a go if they're any good. So
that's
they're not
going
to
paying entertainment.
Exactly. So they're not going to blink at paying you 100 quid if they pay a band 500 quid every week. So yeah, maybe places that have entertainment are good places to start.
And maybe, I don't know, like I kind of choose when to do this and when to not, but sometimes it's maybe good to tell them your real price, you know. So if I go, oh, I'd love to be here twice a month, normally for a corporate event I charge £600, but for you I do this for £120 for 2 hours, right? Like instantly it feels, especially if you wowed them, like you said, right? I showed you something and you're like, oh my god, what is happening right now? and you get them then at that point, you might be able to get that. You know,
Yeah,
I feel it's
absolutely.
just an extra thing to make it
Yeah,
look
it
like,
suddenly makes it
nice.
seem like a really good deal.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So those were my questions. Is there any general advice, random advice that you would give a magician that wants to go out and get a residency? I don't know. You can talk about anything.
Well, I did think about something when we were on the second question there, which was that perhaps not so much in like London.
How should a magician approach a venue?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're in a small town like this, you know, home counties thing, all the restaurant managers know each other. So I think after Sylar had been working at my place for a few months probably, we went for a drink at the wine bar, didn't we?
Yeah.
And obviously knowing the man in there, I said, oh, you know, this is Sylar, he's a magician, he does this, and then suddenly he was wowed, and then you got in there, didn't you?
Because you used to work there, so you introduced me there and so on. Yeah, this is really good. I didn't even
So you know, if you get in with someone in the industry, then chances are they're going to know everyone else in the town and can get you in other places as well. So yeah,
that's actually that's actually a really good idea. So especially, you know, I mean, even London, even though it's big, people that are in the industry, like I've been a waiter bartender for 10 years, and in those 10 years I would know everybody in the industry. Like, you know, we went to Bruges and we met one bartender and they literally knew everyone that worked in all of the bars ever.
Suddenly the next year he got you a gig.
He got me a gig there because he knew everybody and managed to talk to a hotel and stuff. So yeah, this is very good. Like, obviously do the thing, but if you can get in, as in befriend people, you know, make friends and stuff in the industry, they'll like you and they'll introduce you to other people. Because, you know, if I own a venue and I see that you're bringing value to my venue and he's my friend and he also owns something really far away, he's not a competition, I do want to help you out, you know. So I think that'd be a really good thing. Cool. Well, is this it? Are we good?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, just think about, you know, if you were in a restaurant, I suppose, or a bar, and a magician was going around, what benefit, well, how do you think you would enjoy that, and just, you know, use that.
Yeah.
But, people used to write in our feedback forms and say, oh yeah, you know, we love the food, we love the magician.
Yeah, so like, they know, if the feedback's there, like, they know that they enjoyed it, you know. So yeah.
And you know, especially bar guests, we used to get people messaging us on Facebook and stuff saying, oh, we're thinking about coming on Thursday, but is the magician going to be there? We'll come next week if not. You know.
Yeah. So like, that's man, this is so good.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Conor, for coming down and doing this with me. Thank you guys for watching. There's a bunch more videos. There's another interview if you want to watch it, and other business-related stuff. So if you want to check that out, a playlist should pop out after this video. So obviously, like the video, leave any questions for follow-up interviews, and obviously subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to make your wallet disappear. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.